go! The drivers in the slowest cars who don't get a time less than 107% of the fastest qualifying time can appeal to the stewards, but it's very unlikely that they'll be successful. Down into second, down into first, second, up into third, fourth gear, up into fifth, sixth gear. If he can keep this kind of speed up, he'll be looking at a good grid position. He's up on the leader at intermediate 2. Superb! I think we'll see him in pole position for tomorrow's race. He's collided with Pennis. He's already behind at the first split. Third. Third. Down into first. He's down at the second split. Let's see how he compares with the previous qualifying times. That's the fastest time over the first sector we've seen today. Let's see how he compares with the previous qualifying times. He's up on the leader at intermediate 2. And that has got to be the fastest lap. Third gear, down into second. Third gear, up into fourth. This looks like a slower lap. He's down at split one. Okay, let's have a look at the qualifying time so far. I don't think he's going to better his time. He's behind at split two. It's not enough to be lucky. You've got to be good. And he is that. Fourth, fifth gear, up into sixth, fifth gear, fourth gear, third, down into second. This looks like a slower lap. He's down at split one. He's down at the second split. I'm looking at the qualifying lap times now. He's already behind at the first split.
In a busy qualifying session, a Grand Prix driver has to be really on the limit. He brakes at the last moment, turns in very fast, cannot afford any mistakes whatsoever.
Third gear. That's intermediate two, and he's slower than his best. Third gear. Let me just check how that time compares. He's down at the first split.
He's a real veteran of Formula One, and it shows in the maturity of his driving.
Let's see how he compares with the previous qualifying times. That's intermediate two, and he's slower than his best. A new tyre ruling for 1997 is that the teams have to decide in advance which compound to use for both qualifying and the race. And having done so, they're limited to a maximum of 28 tyres. Second gear, third gear, fourth, fifth, up into fourth, down into second. If he can keep this kind of speed up, he'll be looking at a good grid position. That's intermediate 2, and he's slower than his best. That has surely put him on pole. He's really on a roll. Fifth, fourth, third gear, down into second, third gear. He's already behind at the first split. That's down on his previous fastest lap over the second sector. Second. He's down at the third split. Up into third. Third gear. Up into fourth. Third gear. That's intermediate 2, and he's slower than his best.
Each tyre manufacturer supplies 2 different compounds, a hard one and a soft one. The teams have to decide after the practice sessions which compound they will use for both qualifying and the race. They have to decide whether or not to use soft tyres, which are faster but may involve having an extra pit stop.
He's already behind his best time at intermediate 1. That's intermediate 2, and he's slower than his best. into first, second, third, fourth gear, up into fifth. Welcome to the Hungarian Grand Prix, here at the Hungaroring in Budapest. This 2.5-mile circuit, close to the beautiful and historic city of Budapest, is one of the tightest in the championship. Teams have to set their cars up for very high downforce to get grip on its bends. Even so, the drivers have to be right at their best to avoid sliding out of the race. Good grid positions are absolutely essential because passing is almost impossible. The drivers are lined up on the grid now, preparing themselves for the start. The red lights are beginning to come on. And it's go, go, go! Straight down towards turn one they come. Fisichella's taken him. Sensational! He's hit Berger! He'll be wanting to hold on to his position for dear life now because it'll mean all important championship points. That's exactly the start he would have wanted. Look at that. He's gone straight into the back of him. Probably just lost concentration for a moment, and that was it. He's taken 5th position. That collision will probably have done major damage to both cars. He's hit Berger! We're into the second lap. Excellent! That lap will certainly help him catch the car in front. Look at that! A real shunt between these two. He must have been braking much harder than the car behind. Moving nicely through the field now. That's 4th. If I just have a glance at their lap times, his time at split 1 is down on the race leader at the same point. Race order: Heinz Harald Frentzen, Jean Alesi, Michael Schumacher, Williams number 1. He's losing ground. We're into the 3rd lap of the race. The gap is closing. They just touched, I think. There doesn't seem to be any damage. He's He's hit Michael Schumacher. There's only a small gap between them now. The car in front will really be feeling the pressure. Well, he must have taken his eyes off the road for a split second and ended up in the back of the car in front. There was definitely contact between the two cars. He's got through to third. Brilliant! His lap time is quicker than the car he's chasing. He's collided with a Lacey. That's up into second. He's up on the leader at split one. This young man really is a superlative driver. And the gap is closing. Half of this Grand Prix is behind the drivers now, half still to go. He's closing the gap in front. I think they may have had a bit of a bump there, Martin. Race order. Heights Harold Frenson. Williams number 1. Jean Alesi. Michael Schumacher. He's just hit Frenson. It's the Canadian. Just a touch of the barrier. That shouldn't slow him down. Something must be wrong. He's dropping back.
The benefits of his many years' experience in Formula One really show in a race like this.
He's coming up from behind now. Normally, motor racing, driving a car right to its limit, is very much a skill from the head, not from the heart. But out on the track today, we're seeing some really passionate performances. Williams number 1. That was a very heavy collision with the Armco. Let's hope he's all right. The gap is growing. He's coming up from behind now. Look at that! He's ploughed straight into the back of the car in front. Well, I hope both the drivers are uninjured after that one. He's hit Michael Schumacher. Amazing! He's moved up to second place. He's losing ground. Race order. Heights Harold Frenson. Williams number 1. Michael Schumacher. Ralph Schumacher. Only 3 laps to go. He's closing the gap in front. He's definitely gaining. And the gap is closing. There are only 2 laps left in which to decide the race. He's closing the gap in front. The gap is closing. He's closing the gap. We're into the final lap. He's closing the gap in front. Incredible! Now he's in first place. Race order. Williams number 1. Heights Harold Frenson. Michael Schumacher. Ralph Schumacher. He takes the checkered flag. What a superb race.
Hey!